Ida, dear. Hey, I want to have like a tea party at your house sometime. That's totally fine with you, right? Oh, what am I saying? Of course it is. But I might as well ask as like a formality. But you're going to say yes.
Uh-huh. What is this all of a sudden?
You see, we've decided amongst the members of my mom group that we should start meeting up on Tuesdays for tea. We'll allow you to join our group, so let us use your place to host them. Well then, it's been decided. We'll be dropping by next Tuesday at 1 o'clock sharp. Be sure you're ready for us. Ooh, also, we can't have a tea party without tea and little sandwiches, so do be sure to prepare those as well.
Just hold your horses there. I am going to be doing work during that time. You can't do that.
What? Really? You work?
Yeah, I'm an office worker.
But you seem like you're always home.
Don't you know? These days a lot of remote work has been popping up. That's what my job is, so I fortunately get to stay home. I have a home office specifically for this purpose, but that doesn't mean I'm free. I do have to go into the office a few times a month, but even when I'm home, I have to clock in and clock out at certain times. It's not like I get assigned a bunch of work that I can complete whenever I feel like it. I'm sorry, but because of that, it's going to be really hard to designate my house as your meeting place. You shouldn't be counting on it.
Oh, stop. You don't have to be such a goody two-shoes all the time. If your work is remote, then that's even more reason why it's perfect to hold our weekly tea parties at your place. No one else but you knows what you're really doing since they can't see you.
That's not true. My company has a system in place where they can keep track of their employees and what they're doing. So that's impossible. I can't even go to the bathroom without them knowing about it. Under these circumstances, how am I going to host your tea party? Besides, isn't it weird for me to participate in your tea party with your mom friends? I don't belong there.
Excuse me? What is that supposed to mean?
Oh, sorry. I'm going to have to cut this short. I'm about to start work, so I gotta go. See you.
Wait. You're quite an impudent little wench, aren't you, Ida? I suppose I may have to show you what happens when you mess with the girls of my mom group. Consider this a lesson. Hey there, Ida. Have you still not noticed? I commend your ignorance. Or perhaps you're just simply feigning it. After all, I wouldn't expect you to be quite this clueless. You see, I've stolen your husband. Oh, he's such a wonderful man. Let me tell you, he treats me so right, much better than my own husband ever has. What's that? You're wondering why I wanted to steal your hubby in the first place? Well, I suppose it's natural that you'd be curious. And wouldn't you know, there's a very good reason for that. It's because you're an impudent little wench, and I needed to teach you a lesson. The fate of a woman who's forever outcasted from her group is pathetic and sad, you know. Lingering in the background like she thinks she's a poor lone wolf. You see, I simply gave you a taste of what that might be like. You might try to apologize to me for your insolence, but I'm afraid it's too late. To tell you the truth, your hubby's already proposed to me. Now you know for next time that I'm not one to mess with, don't you? Anywho, be sure to divorce him ASAP. Oh, Ida, my, look what we have here. It seems your hubby's invited me out, so I'm on my way to a hotel to meet up with him right now. I mean, how could I possibly resist? I assure you, we'll be having plenty of fun together. Hey, Ida, will you respond already? I know you're jealous. That must be why you're ignoring me. Now I can understand why, but you need to get a grip already and accept reality. Stop being stubborn. Holding out isn't going to fix anything. Your husband no longer loves you and you can't win him back. Nothing is going to change. Divorce him already. Don't keep me waiting for too long. And guess what? I'll be waiting with your hubby in the meanwhile. I mean, he just won't let me go, so we'll be spending another steamy night at this high-class hotel, just the two of us.
Hey, Philip, can you give me some advice? I need to vent.
What's wrong?
Oh boy, there's a lot wrong. Is now a good time? I don't want to keep you up too late if it gets long.
Yeah, it's totally fine. I'm off of work tomorrow, so even if it winds up taking some time, I can stay up, no problem. Did something happen?
Well, first off, do you remember Tanya?
Tanya, huh? I remember that name coming up before. You said something like she was one of the parents at the preschool Tiffany goes to? If I remember right, she thoroughly believes she's at the top of the mom group hierarchy at the preschool. I've never met her, so I don't even know what she looks like. That's all I know about her.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You've been working in Hawaii all this time and haven't been able to come back home. There's no way you'd be personally acquainted with her. It'd be nearly impossible.
Huh? What's with that? Do you think that we were?
Sort of, but this just about confirms that you aren't. It seems Tanya is acting under a huge misunderstanding and has been running wild with it.
What's the misunderstanding about?
It's a lot to take in, so I'll just send you a screenshot of our WhatsApp conversation. That'd be easier for me.
Oh boy, alright, I'll give it a look. This has gotta be good. Phew, I read it all. So she is a special new kind of crazy.
So that's what you thought too. Yeah. I don't know what's going on up there, but whatever it isn't good. When I met her for the first time, I'm pretty sure I told her about Tiffany and our situation. But I guess she forgot, or maybe she just wasn't listening. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Why don't you correct her?
Well, about that, I wanted to, but it seems like she blocks me after every message she sends, so she doesn't even give me a chance to respond.
Really?
Yeah, I talked to the other moms in the group, and apparently it's all on purpose. She was howling in laughter over it. You know, hearing that, I can't help imagining her like a movie villain cackling over her evil plans. I'd find it funny if it wasn't real. I don't know how intentional she's being about this part, but she manages to always send me those weird messages right when I'm in the middle of work. Thanks to that, I never get the chance to respond to her in real time before she blocks me.
It seems that means that she doesn't want to hear your replies.
Yep, seems like it. I guess I can't be too surprised. She has a very domineering type of personality and hates people talking back to her. Actually, I think you could tell that just by the messages she was sending me. I was thinking about seeing her in person and correcting her. That way she wouldn't be able to ignore me and hide behind a block button. But I'm somewhere else right now, it's not easy for me. It's because of that your dad's been taking Tiffany to school instead of me now.
Then can't you ask someone else to talk to her for you? Someone who knows her contact information?
I did consider doing that, but I don't know how much I should say to someone who's unrelated to the situation. I don't want to get them involved in this mess.
Ah, right, true.
Besides, the only people I know for sure can contact her are the other moms. But the ones in that group are super unapproachable. I don't really want to ask them for anything, so it's difficult. They might even make the situation worse.
Gosh, she really chose the worst timing to pull something like this. Your hands are completely tied.
Yeah, it sucks.
Then maybe can't you just leave her be? She can go on being delusional on her own. What's the worst that she can do? Blow up your phone?
What? Is that really a good idea?
I don't know, but what else can you do? She has no intentions of hearing you out, and you can't see her in person. It's already unbelievable that she's cheating on her husband. No matter what happens, she'll be getting her comeuppance sooner or later. She won't be bothering you forever.
I suppose.
If the idea of that is troubling, maybe you should wait and see what she does before blocking her yourself.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyways, I'm here for you. If you're in a tough spot, just holler, alright?
Right, I will, thanks.
Alrighty, I'm heading off to bed now. Good night.
Yeah, night.
Oh, Ida. It's been 4 days since I declared that I've stolen your husband. Even without me reminding you, I'm sure you're well aware. After all, my past WhatsApp messages, see, they've all been read. So if you try to lie and act like you don't know anything, it's not gonna work. So, when are you gonna divorce him? You see, we'll be having our wedding ceremony in 3 days. It's a big problem for us if you're still married. That's why you better hurry up right now so you don't mess up our plans. Or else I'll make sure you'll be sorry. Hey, what's the meaning of this? I noticed the other day that you're not the one taking Tiffany to school anymore. Was the one dropping off of her grandfather? He looked pretty old, so I can't imagine it'd be one of your siblings. Well, this is certainly something. I don't know whether he's your father or your husband's. But this is good news for me. I'm sure that means you've been busy discussing your upcoming divorce. That's why you can't take her to school anymore, and why her grandpa has to step in. You have plenty of talking to do just between the two of you. That's great. Keep it up just like that. All the way up until you get a divorce. Just don't take too long. I don't have much patience. God, this is taking forever. You still haven't divorced? I thought you two have been discussing it. Otherwise, why the hell is Tiffany's grandpa been dropping her off now? What, you got tired of being a good mother? That's just a poor excuse. Get on my level, will you? I divorced my husband a while ago already, so? When's it going to be your turn? I've been waiting long enough. I'm guessing you're slacking off as usual. I see. You think you can drag this on forever? Well, that won't do. You better listen to me soon. You hear me? Unless you don't care what happens to your little Tiffany, then by all means keep ignoring me. I'll make sure you regret it.
Philip, Tiffany's with you already, isn't she? Please tell me she is.
Huh? What is this all of a sudden?
Just like we planned, she's over there visiting you right now, right?
Yeah, she is. After my dad picked her up from preschool, they got on a plane headed for Hawaii. They arrived here safely not too long ago and are unpacking their things.
Oh, I'm so glad. God, that's such a relief. I was worried something would happen to her before she got there.
What's the matter? Did something happen with Tanya again?
Yeah, I've been letting her WhatsApp messages be, like always. None of it's been that alarming, just kinda seemed like I was letting her bark at a wall. But she sent me a particularly scary message today. She told me I'd better get a divorce unless I wanted something to happen to Tiffany. She was basically threatening me by using her.
What the actual hell? She is really the lowest of the low.
Yeah, it's pretty extreme. It seems her wedding ceremony is going to be tomorrow, so that's why she's getting desperate to have me divorce.
What? If they're having a wedding ceremony so soon, does that mean she's already divorced her own husband?
Based on what she's told me over WhatsApp, that seems to be the case.
Jeez. That doesn't mean she can just threaten you into divorcing. That is crazy. What is she even planning to do to Tiffany?
I don't know, and I don't intend to find out. I also still don't know who's been her lover this entire time, especially since it's clearly not you. But I'm off work tomorrow, so I'll keep an eye out on my phone and respond to her right away this time before she has the chance to block me.
Ida.
She threatened Tiffany. I can't just ignore this anymore. I have to face her.
I'm really sorry.
What are you apologizing for? You've done nothing wrong.
You've gotten mixed up in our family situation, and it's the whole reason that Tanya is having this weird misunderstanding.
It's all right. It's not like I'm confronting her face to face. It's just over WhatsApp. It's no biggie. The second she unblocks me, I'm gonna hit her with the facts and correct her misunderstandings. That's all.
Just don't overdo it, okay?
I won't. Thanks.
Yoo-hoo! Guess what? Today's the day of my wedding ceremony, and I'm going to marry that rich husband of yours that I stole. It's going to be fantastic. It cost $50,000, you know, so it's going to be a spectacular event. Surely better than my wedding with my ex-husband.
Looks like I can finally reply to you, Tanya.
Huh? What the? You scared me. It's so early in the morning. I wasn't expecting you to respond.
I'm off work today, so I've been keeping WhatsApps open just for you.
Huh? Is that right?
You've been blocking me in between your messages this entire time, and you went out of your way to message me specifically during my work hours. It was really frustrating, and I couldn't talk to you.
Of course. That's all on purpose.
And because of that, you've been having a major misunderstanding this entire time. It's spiraling out of control, and I have to clear it up.
What on earth are you talking about?
Just so you know, I don't have a husband.
What? Oh, my, that's because you've finally gotten divorced, right? And now you're single again. That's why you can say something like that, since it's technically correct now. Gosh, don't word things so confusingly.
No, you're wrong. I don't have a husband, but I do have a fiancé.
Excuse me? Look, I don't know what you've been going on about, but I have to get ready for the wedding ceremony, so toodles!
I've never gotten married before in my entire life.
What? But you have a daughter now, don't you? So, what are you saying?
She isn't related to me at all. She's my fiancé's niece.
Huh? Then why is she with you?
It was just before she transferred preschools. My fiancé's sister and her husband were involved in a traffic accident and were sent to the hospital. Those two were Tiffany's parents. For the duration of their hospitalization, it turns out they were going to be taken care of near my place of residence. There also happened to be a preschool very close to me. As such, Tiffany's been put temporarily under my care.
Wait, really? That's what's going on?
Also, there's a reason her grandpa's been picking her up now instead of me. He recently retired and moved over here last week. And, as her grandpa, he really wanted to be the one to take care of Tiffany. It worked out great for me. There was a business trip I was trying to put on hold for a while now, but thanks to this change in plans, I was able to go on it. Incidentally, I'm still at the hotel on my business trip right now.
I see. So that explains why he's been picking her up now.
With all of this out the way, I'm sure I've cleared up most of your misunderstandings, right? You're not going to get any more weird ideas, are you?
Let's see. From what I understand, it wasn't your husband I stole, it was your fiancé.
No, you're wrong.
What part of it is wrong?
My fiancé's been in a totally different state for 2 years now because of his work. You've never been acquainted with him.
Huh? Wait, just hold on a minute. Then why did I always see you coming out of that huge rich-looking house near the preschool? When I called out to the man there, he said he was the owner of the house, and because of that, I thought that meant he must 100% be your husband.
I don't live there. I actually live in the apartment across the street from their house.
Say what?
Yeah. The reason you'd often see me coming out of that house is because I became close with his wife through our similar hobbies. Also, about the people who live inside, how old is that man that you're with?
He told me he was 32.
This involves personal information that doesn't belong to me, so I can't divulge much, but what I can tell you is that there isn't a man of that age living in that house.
Huh? What is the meaning of this? I'm going to have to interrogate him at once. Oh my god, Ida, what am I gonna do? He hasn't come to the wedding venue. I don't see him anywhere.
What?
And on top of that, he still hasn't paid the $50,000 for the wedding ceremony. I entrusted that money to him.
No way. You're the one who was covering all the wedding fees?
We were supposed to go halvies on it and pay $25,000 each, but he said he wouldn't be able to get that much money out until the next day. That's why he told me to pay for it in his place, and then he'd pay me back later. And what's worse, I can't even get a hold of him. I can't call him. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? On top of that $50,000, I was letting him borrow $20,000 from me.
Huh? Well,
Oh no, where on earth did he run off to? Don't tell me he got involved with an accident or something.
Tanya, this is just my theory. I could be totally wrong, but what's the possibility that he was a marriage scammer? That he never intended to marry you in the first place, and that he was always going to do this to you?
Excuse me?
If I'm wrong, I'm truly sorry. It's just, from how you're describing the situation, it was starting to sound like it might be possible.
I can't believe this.
It wouldn't be the only thing he's lied about. He lied to you about where he lived, didn't he? And he has $70,000 of your money in his pocket now. Perhaps you should investigate, just to make sure. I mean, maybe he really is in an accident or something, but you can't assume that without proof.
No way. Is this really how it is?
It turned out that, yes, her fiancé was a marriage scammer and never intended to actually marry her. Fortunately, he wasn't really good at what he does. He made a few careless mistakes that made him stand out, and it wasn't long before he was caught. According to him, Tanya had also lied to him, saying she was single. In the end, I guess they were both sorta in the wrong, huh? They're both liars. But the most glaring problem here is Tanya had taken that $70,000 from her former husband when she walked out on him. Fortunately, all of that money was found and returned safely, but $50,000 of that had to disappear into the cancellation fees for the wedding. As such, she has to pay off the remaining $50,000 on top of damages. Not only that, but she had given her husband custody over her children, so now she has to pay child support too. She's been apparently introduced to a job to help her pay off her debt, and that's where she's been working. But from what I've heard, it's a really harsh working environment that's been putting her through the ringer. Every once in a while, she can be spotted staggering down the streets. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to see more content just like this. Also, don't forget to leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. We look forward to your responses. See you later!